To me, Habbo Hotel is the most important game I've ever played, and it's not even really a game. But without Habbo Hotel, I honestly don't think I'd be doing what I do now for a living. For the unacquainted, Habbo Hotel is an online community and chat room developed by Finnish company Sulaki, in which users are represented by avatars called Habbos. You can either enter the official rooms like the theatre, cafe, nightclub or library, or create your own and invite your Habbo friends over for a party, a bit of a chinwag, or a bobber. I'll explain more in a bit. Hello, my name is Adam Pacitti, and today I'll be talking about what Habbo Hotel means to me. I was introduced to Habbo Hotel in 2001 by a school friend who had the same limited social skills that I myself possess. He told me that he had met his girlfriend on Habbo Hotel. She didn't go to Ryde High School like we did, or even Medina High a few miles down the road. She went to East Greenwich High School in Rhode Island. They had never met, but she was going to visit in the summer if she could convince her mum and dad that her online boyfriend was the one. The next week, he told me that they had broken up because her dad said no. He also later found out that she was actually an adult man and he'd very much dodged a bullet, possibly literally. I thought this was hilarious and I decided that I wanted to check out the website for myself. Habbo Hotel was completely different to anything I'd seen before. I was immediately hooked. I was used to talking to friends after school on MSN Messenger, but with the exception of the odd emoticon or wink, that was just plain text chat. On Habbo, I could wander around, wave at other Habbos, have a little dance, or even go for a swim. My first username was Indie Madness. I thought this was the coolest handle ever because I liked indie music, like Travis, and I was kooky, random, mad, get it? I stopped using that account after a couple of months, but I still have my indiemadness@hotmail.com address, which I now use when I need to sign up to a website and not get spammed on my proper email. I didn't have any friends to begin with, so I took a job in the Habbo Police Squad. The Habbo Police Squad wasn't an official security force. Really, all we had to do was dress in blue and go from room to room reporting naughty Habbos to the actual moderation team. They were called Hobbers, by the way. And the hotel was full of naughty Habbos. From users purposely blocking doors so that other people couldn't enter rooms, to people having cybersex, or, as it was known, bobbering. It was called bobbering because the automatic word filter would detect any swearing or sexually suggestive language and change it to the word bobber. So, do you want to come to my room and have sex would become, do you want to come to my room and bobber? I imagine it really killed the mood for all the horny teenagers and the 50-year-old truckers pretending to be horny teenagers. I soon left the force due to non-payment of wages. I was supposed to be gifted an HC sofa for my hard work, but the chief of police was banned for scamming users and thus the police station was no more, so I started visiting other rooms. I generally spent my time in a room called Snoozebox, which was typically frequented by users who joined a couple of years after the hotel opened, but weren't part of the original user base. They stuck to a room called Newsbox, pretentious idiots, the lot of them. And this is when I got serious about Habbo. I purchased the username Noob for 4 petal patches so that people would respect me more because of the rare handle. I started my own Habbo fan site, teaching myself HTML and a little bit of PHP in the process. I learned how web hosts work, how to register a domain, how to upload via FTP. I recruited writers. I learned how to edit images in Photoshop. I contacted advertisers to monetize the website, even though only about 20 people logged on a week. These are skills that I still use today. Hopefully, I'm a bit better at them than I was in 2002, but this is where I picked up the fundamentals. At peak, I was spending 4 hours a day after school on Habbo and about 10 hours a day at the weekend. It became like a job to me. In fact, it was more than a job, it was a second life. At school, I was Adam Pacitti, nerdy, spotty, and underachieving, but when I logged on to Habbo Hotel, I was Noob. I had more friends than I did in real life, I was in charge of a team, and best of all, I had a bedroom that I didn't have to share with my older brother. And then I became a bad boy. If you're watching this, you probably already know that I'm a total rebel, YouTube's answer to James Dean basically, and you can thank Habbo for that too. As time went on, I'd become bored with just sitting on virtual sofas and chatting, so I started hacking. Okay, so hacking is probably too strong a word. I think the actual term is script kiddie, maybe? Basically, I was a little tyke who would download tools that people with actual programming knowledge had coded that could be used to do things that you shouldn't be able to do by editing the packets your computer sent to the Habbo server. You couldn't do anything decent like get free in-game currency, but you could turn your Habbo green or purchase furniture that was no longer available in the catalogue, spending real money in the process. I thought I was the absolute man. That is, until one day I was logged out of my account and couldn't get back in. My password wasn't working. Someone had changed it. How did this happen? How did they guess my incredibly secure password, which definitely wasn't just the name of my cat at the time? In fact, they hadn't guessed it. I'd been keylogged. One of the hacking tools that I had downloaded had in fact been used to hack me, and the actual hacker had stolen all of my furniture, or Fernie. My thrones, my dino egg, my collection of teleporters, all gone. So I did what any rational 15-year-old would do in the same position. I cried, and then I called 999. The police didn't take me very seriously. From there, I lost interest even more. I stopped hacking, but I started avoiding the bobber filter. I told users to get out of my bobbering way, and if they didn't like it, they could suck my fat bobber. Predictably, I was banned. I pleaded my case with the moderation team, but they told me I'd been warned or temporarily banned 28 times in total, and I wouldn't get another chance. Pretty reasonable, really. And so that was it, the end of my Habbo journey. I'd lost my Fernie, my credits, and my account itself. Game over, even though it wasn't really a game at all. Habbo Hotel had been introduced to me at a really significant time in my life. I was a grubby little teenager who was obsessed with the internet and struggled to make friends or talk to girls, and Habbo allowed me to do those things with some level of anonymity that made interacting with people far easier. It sounds stupid. It is stupid, but Habbo Hotel made me more confident in my day-to-day life at a time where a hormone-filled Adam Pacitti needed that confidence boost. Habbo clicked immediately for me because while other people in my school were playing RuneScape or EverQuest or, kissing each other, I had discovered a world where I could be whatever I wanted to be, assuming I had enough pocket money to exchange for in-game clothes and items to do so. I never actually told anyone at school that I was spending so much time online because back then the internet was still a thing for dweebs and was deemed as really, really uncool. Obviously I was a dweeb, but I tried to hide that as best I could in the same way that I hid the fact that I really loved wrestling so that people hopefully liked me more. My favourite part of Habbo is absolutely the people who I met by being a part of it. As ludicrous as it is, I'm still friends with some of the people I met in the hotel. Some of the friendships I made are approaching the 20-year point now, and while I was watching old Habbo videos to spark some memories for this video, it encouraged me to message a few of my ex-Habbo chums to see if they could remember anything that I was forgetting. We've now been chatting for the last week, and we're already talking about some sort of Habbo reunion, but in a real-life pub as opposed to a virtual one when this whole global pandemic malarkey is all over. And that was the beauty of the thing. It was never really about collecting Fernie or playing the games. All of the games were crap anyway, by the way, especially Falling Fernie. To me, it was about making friends at a time where I found it very difficult to do so, and then arranging to meet them 20 years later at a mutually agreeable place, and then laughing about how fat and knackered we've all become. Right? Yeah. In my life, I must have checked into Habbo Hotel about 1,000 times. The most recent time I played it was on a Cultaholic stream about a month ago just to see how it had changed, and largely, it hadn't. All of the public rooms are still there are still active users, but it seems a lot quieter, and for a chat room built on Adobe's Flash engine, which is going to be discontinued at the end of 2020 by the way, and in a world where young people have so many options as far as communicating with each other online goes, I get the impression that Habbo Hotel may be forced to close its doors for good at some point in the not too distant future. I'm not going to try to pitch Habbo Hotel to anyone watching this video, because I know most of the people who watch the videos on TripleJump are over 18, and if you're a full-grown adult and decide to sign up to Habbo Hotel after watching this video, well, you deserve to be on some sort of register. And that's what Habbo Hotel means to me. The personal development and communication skills and all that, not the register stuff. Cheers.